Hi, today this is a rant or a comment on the Toronto Blue Jays playoff performance and the season performance. For me, the start of the season was great. They were good. They were where they were supposed to be and everything else until they had the Alek Manoah problem, where Alek Manoah just basically didn't pitch well. He was 0 and 8 or something, or 1 and 8 and something like that. They sent him down to the complex league in Florida, and he came back. He was a better pitcher, I guess. But he never got in the lineup properly because Ryu came back and they had a bunch of basically a bunch of pitchers that pitched better than him totally. And yes, they could have won the World Series this year if the offense came alive. They had the best pitchers in the league, and they had the best bullpen probably in the league, and they couldn't win. They couldn't win nothing in the playoffs because their offense stunk. Now, Chapman had a down year. He had home runs and RBIs, but he had a down year on batting average. Uh, Dalton Varsho was what you paid for, but I wouldn't have gave up Moreno for it. Gabby Moreno, I would never have given up for him. Kiermaier is what you paid for. Springer is what you got more than what you got out of him the last couple of seasons because he stayed healthy. Bichette was an excellent year. Vladdy was a down year. Danny Jansen had a decent year until he got hurt with everybody hitting him. And then you look at that, and in the last 28 games of the season, Kirk was in there for 28 straight games. He made 28 appearances there. Although he didn't start every game, he made 28 appearances. Now, basically, your pitchers were great, exceptional. Now that game one, they couldn't get anything over on that other pitcher, and they got one run, and they lost 3-1 in game one of the wild card series. So the second game, they had a pitcher named Jose Barrios that was playing pretty good the 3 innings. Got one guy on in the third inning. It took him out, and basically screwed the game up by giving up 2 runs and blowing the fucking game because somebody else, John Slender, had said, well, let's take this guy out when he gets one guy on or in the third or whatever. And for you guys who don't know what analytics is, it's a deep, deep dive into whether the guy is bad or good. And it's just sick to see that the guy that you pay $131 million for can't get it done because somebody else told him he couldn't get it done. And he was pitching the game of his life. Bo Bichette and Vladdy Guerrero in the last 2 postseasons they were in have done nothing. They're not the heads of the goddamn thing. They're nothing. That dugout is going to be worse shape next year because the factor is it's not going to work that way because the dugout is going to be worse because of the factor that somebody had predicted to take Barrios out in the third inning of a game that he was dealing, and they could have won without messing with the formula and just let Barrios pitch. But whether it's Atkins, whether it's Ross Atkins, whether it's the president, whether it's the GM, whether it's a collective agreement to take him out in the third inning, somebody should get fired for it. And that's that's the way I see it. They should never have took the guy out pitching unless they thought there was a problem, and there was no problem. He was pitching lights out. They probably could have won it 2-0 as well. The Jays could have won it probably 2-0 as well. But they took the guy out. Kikuchi came in and promptly gave up the 2 runs. I don't know where the logic is. I don't. But one other thing, Luis Rivera, the third base coach for the Blue Jays, is retiring as of end of this season. So have a good retirement there, Luis. And hopefully they'll be better next year and they fill some holes because what you got now is you got Chapman. That's not UFA. You got Kiermaier's UFA. Brendan Belt might retire. So you'll have a lot of rollover. I don't know who's UFA in the bullpen. Most of your starting pitching will be there. Oh yeah, and Whit Merrifield also is UFA. You got to sign him too if you want to carry this over. but you got to get more offense. Bottom line, your pitchers are good, your bullpen is good. You're gonna have another crack at it next year. Just get the goddamn offense going because this is not good for the franchise and everything else. And somebody's gonna come out and get paid for it because everybody put the onus on the manager. I don't think it is, but that's the only incident right now that would say, hey, look, that shouldn't have done. It's like taking a guy out in a no-hitter or a perfect game. Why would you do that? Even if he's throwing 125 pitches in 8 innings, you would never do it. Why do it here when he's never had a blemish until the third inning when he had walked the guy? That was it. Can't predict the future, but that was the worst case scenario. You bring Kikuchi in when he was pitching right through first to third inning in the bullpen. Why? To me, why do that? And to a guy that last year, not last year, but the year before that, he couldn't get anybody out. He was like El Manoah this year. Like, come on. But the simple fact is, I can't trust Snyder. I can't trust the organization anymore because they don't know what the hell they're doing because they're telling their guys, let's take this guy out in the third inning of a game that he's basically pitching the best of his career. So, yeah, that's my rant on the Blue Jays, and hopefully they play better next year, and we'll see. So hopefully you have a good Thanksgiving, and we'll see you later. Thanks.